Hey people, N2 here. Today we are doing a story voiceover from the game or visual novel Big Aspirations made by Mr. Anvil and his crew of chipmunks. As you can clearly see from the intro here, there will be AI images. Now that we are past that, this game is very long, so I will be doing individual stories for the characters. For context, we play as Aubrey the weight gain enjoyer, who is on a quest to see every single person she meets become fat, including herself. In the game, she goes to work every day, and after that, she can do various actions to unlock a bunch of routes that lead to different characters. Today, we are starting with the watch mukbang stream on the computer in order to find our streamer girl Roxy and start her story. You log onto your computer and search the streaming service Jitter for a mukbang streamer. You see a logo that catches your eye. It is of a cartoon fox and an orange. Roxy Roller first time mukbang stream. The stream title says you decide to click on it. You are greeted by a starting soon screen that shares the same little cartoon fox mascot. You wait for a little bit, and the stream switches over to a view of a petite woman. She has orange hair and eyes that match. She is wearing a headset with a pair of fake fox ears attached to it. Laid out in front of her is a rather large meal, especially for someone her size.
Hey everyone, it's Roxy, and today I am trying something new. We are doing a mukbang. For those of you not in the know, a mukbang is when I challenge myself to try and eat a ludicrous amount of food for your entertainment. Why? I see some people in chat ask, cause it's fun of course. Well then, without further ado, let's begin.
Roxy grabs a fork and knife and begins digging into the massive meal in front of her. She starts eating quickly, not bothering to pause between bites. You notice how the more she eats, the redder her face gets and the sweatier she gets.
Come on, I can do this.
Roxy chants as she continues to shovel food into her mouth.
I can do this.
She chants again before pausing and leaning back in her chair. Roxy places her hands on her distended stomach. You can see just how swollen it is now. She unfortunately wasn't able to finish off the meal in front of her, but for her first attempt, it was a valiant effort. Definitely more than you thought someone of her small stature would be able to handle. Roxy wipes her face with a napkin.
Well, I did better than I thought. What did you think?
Roxy asks her chat, and she is met with a flurry of encouraging words. It seems like her audience is just as excited to see her eat as you are.
Wow, thank you everyone. What do you think? Should I give this another go sometime?
More affirmative messages fly across the screen.
I'm glad everyone thinks so.
You decide that you don't want to miss this bubbly little streamer glut herself on stream again, so you give her a follow. A notification pops up on screen.
Hi N2, thank you so much for following my stream. I am so excited to do another mukbang in the future.
You smile, glad that you won't have to wait long for another feederism-filled stream.
I have to say, even though I didn't get to finish that meal, I am stuffed to bursting.
Roxy says, rubbing her hands on her taut belly. You look at her chat and see some requests for her to show off her bloated belly.
Okay, chat, I will do it this time, but you're gonna have to pay up if you want this to be a regular thing.
Roxy turns her chair and stands, giving you a clear view of her profile. Roxy's stomach looks so round and firm, almost as if she were pregnant. She runs her hands over it, and you can see that she is enjoying the sensation of her full stomach. She is grinning broadly and blushing deeply. Her hands press into her stomach, and a little belch escapes her lips. She giggles and says,
That was embarrassing, sorry about that.
Roxy turns around and addresses her audience.
I really did eat a lot, and I can't believe that you guys watched the whole thing. Thank you so much for supporting my stream. I am super glad that you liked it. I had a ton of fun doing it. I will try and have another stream soon. Maybe this time I will finish the whole thing.
Roxy smiles and waves at the camera.
Have a good night.
Between the big streams, there are these smaller ones where you can donate to your girl. She says different things based on if you donate 10 or 50, so I will do both. You are greeted by the familiar stream mascot for Roxy Roller.
Maybe today is the day that I can actually finish this meal. N2, thank you so much for the donation.
And the 50.
Maybe today is the day that I can actually finish this meal. Oh my gosh, N2, that is crazy generous of you. I'll make sure to put that money to good use.
You log into today's stream, and with the outfit Roxy is wearing, you are able to see that the constant overeating she has been doing has started to become noticeable on her figure. Her breasts have gone from being small and barely noticeable to what could be described as a handful. The weight seems to have settled exclusively on her chest. She has her usual meal set out in front of her. a feast for someone of her once diminutive stature.
Hi everybody, I have a good feeling about today's mukbang. I think today might be the day where I actually finish all of this. Wish me luck.
She begins by stuffing her face, taking the occasional moment to breathe and chat with her audience. The chat is going at the speed of light, encouraging her to keep going and making all sorts of lewd comments about her body and what they would like her to do with it. You can see her smile as she reads the comments. She is clearly a girl who thrives on being the center of attention. As the show goes on, you watch her belly expand to the point where it is poking out of her shirt, a familiar sight to those who have frequented the stream. As she leans back to cradle her swollen belly, you get an eyeful of her new cleavage, which gets the chat going once more. She's approaching the end of her meal, and you can see a spark of determination flicker in Roxy's eyes. She knows the goal is within reach, and she isn't going to let this chance pass her by. Roxy's hands and mouth become a blur, shoving food into her mouth as fast as she can. A few bites later, she lets out a massive belch and her eyes widen in shock. It is a moment of triumph and embarrassment. She can see the chat exploding with encouragement. Roxy grins and continues, shoveling the last of the meal into her mouth. With a final triumphant gulp, the entire thing disappears down her throat, and she leans back with a look of pure bliss.
I did it, guys, I really did it.
She sits there for a minute, rubbing her hands over her taut stomach, feeling her victory. Eventually she leans forward, her eyes heavy, and speaks.
All right, guys, time for me to say goodbye. I would normally keep going, but I'm actually afraid that I'm going to go into a food coma at any second. I am so full.
With a click, the stream cuts off. You smile and decide to log off. The beginning of something great, you suspect. Regular stream again.
MMHPH, I think I'm starting to get the hang of this. N2, I hope you like what you see, wink.
And 50 again.
MMHPH, I think I'm starting to get the hang of this. N2, seems like you want to see more of me, huh? Don't worry, you will.
After finally conquering her first full mukbang meal a little while ago, Roxy has developed quite the appetite. The meal that once caused her issue with finishing has now become the norm for her. She used to be full to the point of almost passing out, but now she finishes it with ease. All this indulgence has had a continuous effect on her body. She has been gaining weight as a result of all the food, and luckily for her, she must be blessed with some killer genetics because it all seems to end up in her assets, which seems to get bigger with each stream. You log into today's stream to see that her usual meal has been replaced by a larger one, extra servings abound, and her desk is almost covered. She's wearing a low-cut top that is knotted together at the front, and her large portfolio is pressed together tightly to show off maximum gains. This girl is an expert of her craft.
Hey guys, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you are ready to watch me destroy this meal because I know that I am excited to devour it.
You watch as her chat explodes with encouraging messages and emotes of her little fox mascot with a round tummy, a new feature for the stream. It seems like she has really begun to lean into this as her identity on the platform now.
I really want to thank everyone who sent in donations and requests for what I should eat. I have made a lot of progress lately, so I wanted to take a step up and make a real meal out of this. So let's not waste any time and get right to it.
She grabs her first plate, which is piled high with food, and starts eating. You watch her devour it. The way she eats is so seductive, it's like the food is the only thing that matters in the world to her. Her whole body is focused on eating. She is very vocal about her enjoyment, moaning and groaning as she chews her food. It isn't long before she is finished with the first plate, and she puts it aside and grabs another. She does the same thing again, devouring the food with the same gusto as the last. She finishes her second plate and puts it aside, grabbing another. You continue watching her and notice her portfolio seems to have grown since she started eating, but that's impossible, right? You realize that her distended belly is pushing her assets up and giving the impression that they have gotten larger. You decide to go to her chat and make a comment about her tightly pressed together assets. You find that you aren't the only one to do so. You look back at the screen and she has just finished her third plate. Her belly has gotten even bigger, pushing against the fabric of her shirt. You can't take your eyes off of her. You are hypnotized by her. She is like a force of nature and you are helpless to look away. She continues her eating spree, eating plate after plate, her belly expanding further with each one. Her assets are practically bursting out of her shirt now, and her face is red from the exertion of eating. You can't believe how profitable she looks right now. She is the perfect picture of gluttony and you are obsessed with her. You watch as she devours the last few plates, her belly now huge. She finishes her meal and leans back in her chair, rubbing her massive belly. You are amazed at how big she has gotten. She looks like she's pregnant. You watch her chat, and the people there are going crazy. They are all commenting on her huge belly and her massive portfolio. You can't help but join in, telling her how you would love to see her eat even more. You are sure that she is getting riled up on by all the attention. Her face is even redder now, and her breathing is heavier.
Okay, I definitely overdid it today. Oh my god, I feel like a stuffed turkey.
She attempts to adjust her top, trying to avoid any annoying algorithms. She is just like me.
Maybe I'll cut it back just a bit for next time.
Roxy asks her chat, and she is met with a flurry of encouraging words. It seems like her audience is just as excited to see her eat as you are.
Wow, thank you everyone. What do you think? Should I give this another go sometime?
You all tell her that she looks great and to not change a thing. She laughs.
I don't think I have a choice. I don't know how much more I can eat before I explode.
She smiles, her eyes are half-lidded and her breath is heavy. She looks like she is about to pass out.
Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. See you next time.
Another stream, another 10.
I wasn't expecting my portfolio to get so big, but I gotta admit, I'm really liking it. What do you think, chat? N2, I'm glad you agree.
And the 50.
I wasn't expecting my portfolio to get so big, but I gotta admit, I'm really liking it. What do you think, chat? N2, if I can't fit into this top soon, I know who to blame. Thank you so much.
Today, as you log into a stream, you see something different.
Congratulations to our lucky winner, N2.
You can hardly believe it. Roxy was hosting a raffle for a chance to meet her in person. Maybe it was luck, or maybe it was all the money that you donated that boosted your chances, but regardless, you were the one selected.
When you have a chance, please send me a DM and we can work out the details. I look forward to meeting such a big fan.
Once the stream ends, you click on the icon next to her profile and send a message to Roxy. You inform her of where you live, expecting that it will take a lot of planning and working out logistics in order to figure out when the two of you will be able to meet. It appears that fate is on your side, however, because she informs you that she happens to live close enough to you that you will be able to meet up whenever your schedules align. You both go back and forth, figuring out when would work best for you two, and settle on a time and place to meet up. You take the train to the address that both you and Roxy agreed to meet at, a nice little outdoor cafe. She insisted that the meetup spot be outdoors, which you had no problem with. You disembark the train and walk down a sunny downtown street, flanked by greenery and bathed in sunlight. You have your eyes on your phone's map app and finally arrive at your destination. From the entrance, you can see Roxy sitting at a table out on the patio. Despite the fact that she is wearing a more reserved outfit than normal, you could recognize those mammoth assets anywhere. You make your way out to the patio and wave shyly as you approach.
Hey Roxy, nice to finally meet you. It's me N2.
You whisper the last part, not wanting to draw too much attention. Roxy looks at you, and you notice that she is clearly surprised.
Holy chat, is this real? You're a woman? I was not expecting that.
Her hair is done up into a high ponytail, a pair of sunglasses hang off the bridge of her nose, and she is wearing a brown overcoat that dangs off her shoulders and is settled above the elbow. Her portfolio rests heavily on the table she is seated at. A cup of black coffee steams next to her, and a plate of food with a few bites already taken out of it rests before her.
Oh, you already ordered, that's okay, I'll catch up.
You take a seat across from her. You see the orange-haired beauty blush slightly.
Yes, sorry, I'll wait for your food before continuing mine.
The waitress swings by your table, and you place an order for a mocha and a muffin, and then turn to Roxy. She is making direct eye contact with you, with an inquisitive look on her face. You avert her gaze, feeling a little shell-shocked that you are meeting the woman that you have seen gorge herself for your entertainment, sitting an arm's length from you.
Okay, so what's the deal? You seem semi-normal, but I know that you aren't. You know what I do, and I know that you are into it.
You are a bit taken aback by how blunt she is. She is a lot less bubbly in person than you were expecting.
Well, I haven't really talked about this with someone that I have just met before, but I have been trying to get fatter. I was sick of never really standing out or always being ignored, so I thought that if I was bigger, people might give me more attention. I guess I saw a lot of myself in you when I first discovered your channel, and watching your growth has been kind of an inspiration for me.
Roxy raises her glasses and rests her hand on her cheek.
Yeah, okay, I think I kind of get where you are coming from. Part of the reason that I started streaming was to try and get more eyes on me. Though I kind of don't really get the whole fat appeal thing, I know that is a big part of my chat now.
Sudden confusion strikes you.
Wait, you're not into
You gesture at her, waving your hands in a circular motion.
all of this, but then why are you doing it? And I know what I saw, you are enjoying it in some kind of way. No one looks like you while streaming if they are just putting on an act.
You lean forward while saying this, and you then realize that you are getting a little heated. You settle back down and rest your hands on your thighs.
Sorry.
You give a quick apology.
What you see of me when I am excited is because of the attention, not because of the stuffing. As for why I am doing it, the honest answer is that my channel has exploded in popularity since I started doing the mukbangs. I was just trying something out. I saw that there was a market for it and thought, why not give it a shot? It turns out a lot of people like watching excessive shit. Something about FOMO, I think. Either way, it worked out for me. I get an excuse to eat food for a living, and people flock from all over to pay to watch me do it. Plus, I think the appeal was higher because it was a small gal like me doing it.
You raise an eyebrow.
I wouldn't exactly say small anymore, Roxy. Aren't you worried about getting fat if that isn't something you are into?
You ask her.
Please call me Roxanne when we are in public. I don't really like using my stream name offline. But as for worrying about getting fat, I'm not as worried as I used to be. There have definitely been other perks to this besides getting more popular on Jitter.
She lays a hand on her chest, and you can see her smirk a little as she takes in her size.
Though I will admit, these things have been growing really fast. Part of me wants to slow down a bit just so I can give my body a break, but I'm worried that I might lose some of my audience if I do that.
She explains.
Yeah, true. I've seen how chat talks. A lot of them are just there for the cute girl eating. Too bad you couldn't just pass the weight off onto someone else.
It is in that moment that you see a spark of inspiration flicker across Roxanne's eyes. She leans over across the table and gets right in your face.
Hey, and to actually screw that, what's your real name?
She asks.
Aubrey.
You tell her. You are leaning back slightly in your seat with how close Roxanne has gotten.
Hey, Aubrey, you are actually pretty cute yourself, and you did say that you want to get bigger, right? Well, I have an idea. What if you were to help me out by streaming in my place every once in a while? That way I can take a break from eating every now and then, and you get to use a successful streamer's channel to help fuel your belly.
You are taken back. You just thought today was going to be a fun little day date with a cutie from the internet. But now you are given the opportunity of a lifetime, a chance to make some money while also fueling your growth. You give her a nervous smile.
Oh, where do I sign up?
Really? I knew I had a good feeling about you, and to think that I wanted to try to get this over as quickly as possible when I first got here. What I am thinking is that we can make plans every once in a while for you to take over my stream for a day. You'll have to provide the food out of your own pocket, but any donations that come in that day I will make sure you get. Oh, plus, I'm gonna make you an outfit. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to working together on this.
You spend the rest of your coffee date discussing details. It turns out that Roxanne actually lives very close to you and was lying about where she lived when you were first talking. By the end of the day, you are feeling a scene of mixed nervousness and excitement for your first stream. Well, we will eventually see how that story pans out. For now, we continue to focus on our orange girl. Next regular stream.
I really hope that Jitter doesn't get mad at me for showing this much skin, haha. This next bite is for you, N2.
And 50.
A shout out to N2, please make sure to show them some love in chat.
You turn on today's stream to see a special event.
Today I got something special planned for you, chat.
The stream begins, and you are greeted by our fox girl Roxy is wearing a bikini. Every time she moves, her assets jiggle wildly. She is leaning over an impressive display of food with her hand on her hip.
I wanted to give you guys a full view of the stuffing process today, so I am gonna try and finish all of this food while giving you guys a real-time view of my belly filling up.
The camera display changes angles, and you can see that she has set it up to show her full body.
I'm gonna be standing for this whole meal, so you get to see every inch of my body as it gets packed to the brim.
She brings a finger to her lips and blows a kiss at the camera, giving a wink as she does so. Now that you know that she is putting on the act, it can be kind of hard for you to take this fake personality seriously. Though with how much she is rocking the bikini, you find yourself having an easy time forgiving that fact.
Now enough talking, let's get to eating.
Roxy takes her first dish of food and begins shoveling it into her mouth. You are impressed by her technique and speed. It looks like the practice of doing this all the time is really paying off. She has this down to an art form at this point, timing the pace at which she chews, swallows, and bites to such a precise point that she is never without food in her mouth. The rate at which she is eating is that of a professional eater. If you didn't know better, you would worry that she could choke. Her belly begins to bulge and bloat as she makes her way through the desktop worth of food. It grows round and taut, her portfolio resting on top of the tight orb. She reaches down and cups the underside of her swollen stomach.
Oof chat, this might be the biggest I've gotten. I don't know if I can continue.
From the tone in her voice, you can tell that she isn't actually struggling, but she is giving her viewers an ultimatum. If they want to see more, they are going to have to earn it. They answer in kind, with donations and subscription notifications appearing left and right. Roxanne takes a large bite and with food in her mouth says,
Thank you, I think I can find it in me to keep going.
She resumes her feast with just as much vigor as before. As you suspected, she was nowhere near her limit, but you have to admire the hustle. Eventually, she begins to slow down as the last remnants of her mukbang dwindle. She raises the last of the food to her mouth, her back arched to help her support the weight of her belly.
That's the last of it. A new record. I hope that you guys liked that. My big heavy belly is just out there for all of you to see. Oh, how embarrassing.
She puts both of her hands on her cheeks and wiggles her hips from side to side. More donations come rolling in, and the chat showers her with compliments.
You all better be happy. I'll probably have to look into getting a new bikini soon. This one is already pushing its limits.
She snaps one of the bands of the bikini, and it makes a soft slap on her skin. The fabric is pulled incredibly tight from the weight.
I hope you all enjoyed, but I've got to go and digest all of this. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.
She leans forward towards her computer, and you get one last flash before the screen turns black. There are some random events where you meet someone. Here is an event where you find Roxanne in the cinnamon swirl store. You find Roxanne sitting down for some treats. She is dressed in her inconspicuous, where, though she is still drawing many stares due to how she is still bearing her massive portfolio.
What? Yes, I know it's a lot, but compared to what I normally eat, this really isn't that much.
Regular stream and 10.
Oh, I think I dropped something between my assets chat, 5 gift subs, and I will let you watch me fish them out. Looks like N2 is doing their part. Any other takers?
And 50.
Well, it seems that N2 wants a show.
And 10.
It is really getting hard to cover these things lately chat. Barely anything is made in my size anymore. Thank you so much N2 Humph.
And 50 again.
Choo-choo B-Warp, excuse me. Thank you for the generosity, N2. God, I feel like an overinflated balloon with how much I'm eating lately.
Roxanne is at one of the booths inside of the cinnamon shop. You're happy to see that she doesn't feel the need to hide herself anymore.
Okay, listen, you don't get assets like these without indulging your hunger every once in a while, okay? I want them to maintain their size, so don't give me that smug look.
She says between mouthfuls of pastry, her portfolio resting on the table for extra support.
Okay, miss, I want to slow down a bit. You won't have anyone to blame but yourself if you find yourself pinned down by your portfolio one day.
Roxanne furrows her brow at you and takes another bite.
I could imagine worse things.
Despite Roxanne's wishes to slow down her gain, her increased capacity and the extra monetary incentive of eating bigger and bigger meals have caused her to become absolutely massive. It looks like she is taking a break from the mukbang streaming today and is doing some gaming.
Hey everyone, I'm still feeling full from the last stream, so I thought today we would take it a little easier.
She has her portfolio resting on her desktop, something she has been doing more and more recently. You can only imagine how much punishment her back is going through these days. The game of choice for the stream is one of those games designed to be a frustrating experience for the streamer, but entertaining for those watching the suffering. Where any forward progress is typically preluded by many hours of retreading the same sections of the game ad nauseum. You watch as Roxy grows more and more frustrated as the stream goes on. A notification flashes across the screen. Someone in chat gifts 100 subscriptions to the channel. Roxy is clearly taken aback.
Wow, that is far too generous.
She reads the message associated with the gift.
Take off the shirt, huh? Well, I feel like you have earned a request like that.
She grabs the windowed t-shirt starting at her waist and lifts it over her head. Fwomp, there is a soft, heavy thud as her assets escape the confines of her shirt and fall back to the desktop. It is clearly a few sizes too small. She must not have been able to get a replacement one in her new size yet. Chat seems to like it, so it may not be replaced anytime soon.
There we go. Sigh that honestly feels better. That shirt was really constricting the girls. Okay, let's get back to it.
Gameplay continues. Roxy straightens out her back, but her portfolio keeps contact with the surface of the desk. As more and more failed attempts build up in the game, Roxy gets more and more animated with her frustration, throwing her hands in the air and letting out groans of anguish. She is really leaning into the whole performance aspect of it. Her assets jiggle every time she is animated, and waves of chest fat ripple along the surface. Things reach a boiling point, where you can see both Roxy's face and chest are growing red with anger. It looks like she is finally about to overcome this one section that has been causing her no end of grief. But one small missed input sends her character tumbling back down to try again.
God damn it.
She throws her arms in the air behind her back. It is in that moment that the inevitable happens. She doesn't seem to notice right away as she goes back to playing her game, but the chat explodes with messages, including some from yourself, about the display that is happening. When Roxanne reads the messages, you can see her pupils grow small and her eyes widen, blushing deeply. She tries to cover one of her arms, but with how large she has become, she isn't able to make herself decent. You see her frantically lean over to her second monitor, and the stream cuts off in that moment. You sit in silence at your computer. You know that this won't end well for her.